Good morning, and welcome to your daily Farm and Home Show, brought to you by the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Service. And now, here's your host.
Good morning. Welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna Coles, and this morning we're visiting with Camille Lambert. She's the Henderson County Extension Agent for Agriculture and Natural Resources. Good morning, Camille.
Good morning.
Well, I'm glad you're here today because spring is here and farmers are in the field, and there's a lot of things, though, that we need to think about in preparation.
Sure. There's quite a bit of things. So we've discussed soil temperature. One thing that we didn't mention, though, is the Kentucky Mesonet, and that is a really cool feature that a lot of you all have access to, and you can pull it up right on your phone, and it will tell you what the soil temperature is at various depths.
Okay.
So currently in Henderson County, it's 47.5 degrees at 2 inches deep.
So if you didn't have a thermometer with you, you could look on the Mesonet site for real-time information.
Sure. Now, I will say that depending on your soil type, it could be a little bit different. So, you know, if you're sandier, it's going to heat up a little more than the clay that'll stay a little bit colder. So,
yeah, so take that into consideration, but you can get a really good ballpark.
You can get a really good ballpark. Check your 5-day forecast. But there are several other things that we do need to consider when it's time to go. So one thing I always love to mention to people, because it doesn't exist to farmers, is compaction. So a lot of times they will dry out the soil and get it ready to plant with just a very shallow tillage tool. But if it is slightly too wet, it can actually cause you a worse problem than you know, getting in the ground fast. It can cause you that compaction problem. So if you are going to do a vertical tillage tool, and make sure you do it shallow and plant below that zone that you did, because you want to make sure that you just don't have the vertical tillage issue.
Yeah, because a lot of times we're so excited because the weather is warmed up. You want to get in the field. We've had a really wet year, and a lot of that ground is super hard.
Yeah.
And so you don't want to do more damage.
Sure, and a lot of people are going more towards no-till, but there are just some soil types that will do better if you kind of work it up a little bit. Now, another thing I always like to talk about this time of year is burn down spraying, and we have the new technology, Dicamba, that a lot of people, if they didn't use it last year, they're going to use it this year. So something that is required on the label now is your wind speed at boom height. So a lot of the big sprayers will take the wind speed at the cab, but that doesn't count for this. So you want to make sure that you get some type of a wind meter. This one is one I just got off eBay. The brand is Kestrel, but there are several different brands out there. But you can hold it right at your boom height, and it spins around. It even has a little temperature gauge on it, so you can document everything very quickly, what's happening right before you spray. So something else that I am encouraging farmers to do is to just snap a picture, especially if you are spraying Dicamba, so that you have that legal backup if something were to happen to fall back on.
Okay, so are these very expensive, Camille?
They run $50 is probably your lowest cost for them, but they go, gosh, up to probably $200–300 depending on the features that you want. But I just got the basic one. I want wind speed and temperature.
Okay, and so this is good to record, and then make sure that you have some type of documentation where you record it.
Yes.
Because if you're like me, you think you're going to remember.
Sure.
But I don't. Now,
if you're spraying the Roundup Extend, there is an app that you can download. I think it's a free app, actually. It's RR Extend Spray is what the app's called. But they are telling you that you have to document your Extend or your Dicamba spraying within 72 hours. So, unlike regular spraying, it's 14 days. If you are a commercial applicator, I believe it's 30 days if you're just a private applicator. 72 hours. So just get it done. You also want to make sure that you keep records separately for every field. So if you're going to spray all day in one day, you have to have separate records for every single field.
And Camille, when we're talking about wind speed at boom height, a lot of people say, well, I can maybe get the wind speed. I can go back and look, but it needs to be exactly where you are.
Yeah, exactly where you are. And one thing that, like, the apps on your phone that will tell you the temperature and the wind speed, they're taking the nearest airport and they're using this this equation to figure out, you know, they're taking it way up in the air and they're trying to equate what it actually is lower. So it's not super accurate, especially for what we're wanting it for. So if you're using Dicamba, your wind speed needs to be between 3 and 10 miles an hour. You don't want it less and you don't want it more. So it's just a lot of requirements, but if you get something like this, it can really help you.
All right, well, thanks for the tips and the information. And if you have questions, make sure to contact your local extension office. We'd be happy to help. Thanks for watching and have a great day.
If you have questions about today's topic, please call the Warren County Extension Office at the number on your screen. Thanks for watching and have a great day.